everybody. This is Amy from Agile. Welcome to Friday Yoga. We're going to do a little more work specific to the lower leg, the foot, and the ankle today. So first, see if you can find a nice comfortable seat. It's always helpful to have a blanket. If you don't have a blanket handy, you can always grab a pillow to sit on. You want to be able to sit comfortably with your hips relaxed. Let your elbows just relax underneath the shoulders. Get nice and grounded through your pelvis. And the first thing we're going to do is just connect to your breath. Focus on slow, deep inhale. And then exhale all the way. Let's try a 4-count inhale. Pausing at the top and then exhaling. 4 counts out. Pause at the bottom. Deep breath in. Exhale. 4 counts out. Pause at the bottom. One more time, 4-count inhale. Pause at the top, then exhale. 4 counts. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Relax your shoulders. Relax your breath. We're going to start with one arm, so feel free to join me at home if you like. Take a nice deep breath in. Gently release your hands. So you're going to straighten out your right leg. Cross your left leg over. See if you can interlace your fingers right between the toes. You're trying to make space between the toes. If they're a little tight, don't worry about it. Just try to see what you can do. So a lot of times we're in shoes during the day, maybe less so now, but if you're working from home. But a lot of shoes will compress your metatarsals. The more we can get some space there, generally the better the foot feels. So again, you're just wiggling your fingers in between the toes. Once you get that, whatever space you have there, let's start with some ankle circles, just general mobility. You can have your leg down, you can be sitting in a chair too if this isn't comfortable. Just make some circles at the ankle. Reverse directions, go the other way. Then spread your fingers, pull them out. Switch your hands so your left hand is on the right foot and you're going to pull the toes back gently. So you're stretching the plantar fascia, bottom of the foot a little bit. So the ankle is pulling up towards the knee, the toes are pulling back. You might feel a stretch there, you might not. If you don't, take your hand kind of along that big toe line. So the base of the big toe to the heel. There's a tendon there that might pop out a little bit. You can kind of massage that. Kind of loosen that up. If it's really tender, some of my plantar fasciitis patients get really, really tender there. So you can just find the tender spot and apply a little pressure and hold it. Then move it down towards the heel a little bit more, find another spot and hold it. One more time. Okay, and then go ahead and release that foot and we'll switch sides. Cross your right leg over the left. And again, you can be sitting in a chair if it's not comfortable on the floor. The first thing you're going to do is try to wiggle your fingers between the toes. Get them in there nice and snug. And then work on some ankle circles. count 5 or 6 in one direction, then reverse. Then spread the toes. Go ahead and pull your hand out. With your right hand, pull it over the top of the foot. So you're pulling the foot back, toes back, ankle back. If you have a towel, sometimes you can stretch it with the towel underneath the foot, pulling up, so with the leg straight. Or you can just continue to do it here. Pulling the toes back and bending the ankle towards the knee. See if you can get a stretch there. And then you can work on self-massage or trigger point along that tendon, along the plantar fascia too. If it's too tender, then just don't pull quite so hard before you do the soft tissue work. Okay, go ahead and bring your feet down. Now, if you have a blanket, that's ideal. If you don't, you can get a rug or anything that you can roll up. If you don't have a blanket, see if you can maybe take a moment to go find one. We're going to take the blanket and roll it about this thick. Bring it to the top of the mat. We're going to use this to stretch through the calf area. So you're going to put your toes up on the blanket. Let the heels stretch down. You might not feel a stretch here yet if the blanket's not thick enough. We're going to hinge forward from the hips to go a little deeper. So you're going to do a forward fold with the blanket under the toes to get a little more stretch through this posterior chain. You can have blocks here, a chair, any kind of support so that you don't go too deep. Try to keep your back. I'm going to bend a little bit, but try not to overround the back. Tone your belly. Tone your thighs. Of course, if that's too much stretch, you can always take the blanket out. Inhale, come up just a little bit. You're going to take the left foot back into a lunge, keeping your front foot on the blanket. Push through your back leg. It's also going to give you more of a stretch through your calf area. Fingertips are in line with the toes. Front knee is pushing forward. The back leg is pushing through the heel. Focus on your breathing. On your next inhale, push through the front leg and come upright. It's going to feel maybe a bit more wobbly than normal with that blanket there. Try to get nice and grounded. Push through your back heel. Bring tone through the belly. Hands can stay at the hips. You can be in a cactus type position with the arms, or stretch your arms up. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, touch the floor or the blanket. Bend your back knee. Bring it forward. And heels on the floor. Top of the foot, top half of the foot is on the blanket. Exhale to fold in. Inhale, partway up. Exhale, step the right leg back. Fingertips shift back just a little bit so they're in line with the toes. You can pump the back foot a little bit where you lift your heel up and stretch it back down. Lift it up, stretch it down. More of an active stretch. Then go ahead and hold it where you push the heel towards the floor. Keep the back leg active, nice and strong. Push through your front foot. Inhale, come up. Hands to the hips. Keep the back leg nice and straight. Inhale the arms up. Again, it can be cactus. It can help you if your shoulders feel tighter to engage through the shoulder blades. Or you can straighten the arms up. Reconnect to your breath. Take a deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, touch the floor, step forward. Uttanasana, forward fold with the toes up. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Now you're going to take a blanket and roll it really tight if you can. If you don't have a blanket, you can also roll up your yoga mat, just the end of it. Okay, and then flip it around. We've got the round rolled side towards the top of the mat. You're just going to stand right on the rolled up part to get a little pressure on the arch of the foot. Shift your weight left to right to get a little more pressure through the arch of your foot. Stand on your right foot, so you're getting a little more pressure there. You can stay on your toes. Put about 3/4 of the weight on the right foot. Or you can stand up all the way, put a lot more weight on it. The balance is more challenged because you're standing on a wobbly blanket. You can always put your hand out to the wall. Get a little more weight through that arch of your foot. Switch sides. So rolled up anything. Blanket's fairly soft. Pull your other leg up. You can have your toes resting to help balance. And then go ahead and step up. Go back to our blanket a little bit later. So go ahead and move that off to the side. Come to the top of your mat. Take a nice deep breath in. On your exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step your left leg back. This time, pivot your foot down. Press through the legs, come up. So the leg position is front heel to the arch of the back foot. Back foot's turned forward. The front foot facing the front of the mat. Might have to wiggle this foot back a little further to go deeper. Bend your front knee so it's directly over your ankle if you can. Take the top of the left thigh, move it back. So this is going to help open your hips even more. Think about keeping your pelvis nice and level. Sink into it a little bit more. Make sure you can still engage your legs and stretch your arms out nice and wide. Try to look out over your front hand. Take a few deep breaths. Then we're going to exhale into wide side angle, or as we'll Konasana. Forearm to the thigh. Keep the knee bent. So a nice straight line through the left leg and the trunk. Try to keep lengthening through the side body on the right. Take your arm straight ahead. Pull your shoulder blade in and reach it up over the ear. Bring your chest towards the ceiling a little. One more deep breath in. Exhale all the way. Inhale all the way up. Go ahead and turn your feet parallel and then just reverse. Left foot pointing straight ahead. Right foot 90-degree angle from the left. Bend your front knee. So you start to sink into it. Top of the thigh back on the right. Pelvis as level as you can get it. Arms out nice and wide. Try to look over the front hand. And breathe. Take a deep breath in, get long through the side body. Exhale, forearm to the thigh. Take your arm straight out initially. Pull the shoulder back. Reach up over the ear. Turn your chest towards the ceiling. The right leg nice and strong. Push down through the legs. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Deep breath in. Exhale. And inhale, bring it back up. Take a little break, stepping your feet together. Bend the knees and rest here if that feels better. Inhale, come back up. Step the feet wide. Engage your thighs. Tighten your belly. Hinge forward from the hips, keeping your back nice and straight. Till around parallel or slightly past, and then you'll round your back. Bring your hands to the floor. Lifting your shoulders away from the floor, lengthening your head towards the floor. If it's a little tighter, you can keep your head and your trunk in the same plane, parallel to the floor. Whatever it feels like, it's a good stretch for you. Inhale, come up. The arms are straight. Hands can be on a block, support, blanket, anything to bring the floor closer to you if needed. You're going to add a twist to the left. Turn from the chest. Get the legs, the pelvis, the lower back pretty steady. Take a deep breath in and reach. Exhale, touch the floor. Inhale, turn to your right. Focus on your breath. Tone through the legs. Tone through the belly. Deep breath in and really lengthen. Exhale, touch the floor. On your next inhale, come all the way up. Step your feet together. Okay, we're gonna go on our hands and knees next. Keep your blanket handy. And actually go ahead and roll your blanket up. Towels work fine too if you don't have a blanket. So roll it up as tight as you can into a cylinder like. On your knees. The towel right behind. Get it as tight in behind the knees as you can. Feet can be flat or tucked. If they're a little more comfortable, flat. Hands on the floor. Start by just shifting your weight back. Just a little bit of pressure from the blanket into your calf area. The tighter the roll, the tighter the more it presses down and applies a little pressure. If your knees are okay, go ahead and sit up all the way. The pressure of the blankets pushing into your hamstrings and your calf. Feet are nice and straight and parallel. And again, if you have any knee trouble, the more you can get it closer to the joint line or the back of the knee, often the better it feels. Also, you get a little more pressure in it. It's like getting a deep tissue massage. So it's a little uncomfortable if you've really got it in there and you've got some tight spots. Focus on your breath. Inhale, bring it forward. We're going to go ahead and slip the blanket out. Hands are on the floor, fingers spread. Stretch your left leg back. And again, stretch your calf out a little. So you're pushing through the heel, applying more pressure there. Bend the knee, bring it down. Stretch the right leg back. Knees off the floor, push through the toes. So the toes are on the ground, you're pushing your heel back and away. Inhale the knee to the floor. All right, best down dog ever now that we're all stretched out in the feet and the calves. Hands are spread, wrist creases aligned with the front of your mat. Walk the knees back. Lift the hips up and stretch it back. If you want to do a little more dynamic stretch to the calf area, you can bend the knees and walk it out a little bit. Or just let it stretch. It's okay if your heels don't go to the floor. You might bend the knees and try to find that natural curve in your lower back. Stretching out one leg at a time to keep that natural curve if you need to. And then pause. Inhaling, shifting your weight forward into a plank position. If needed, you can always keep the knees on the floor. So it can be back here, shifting your weight forward, or down dog to plank. Again, knees can be on the floor or straight as you lower down. Point your toes. Inhale into cobra. Exhale back down. So keep the tops of your feet pressing into the floor. Tone in the legs. You want the shoulders to lift, so they're at least as high as your elbows. Claw the floor. Think about dragging your hands back as you lift up, primarily through the upper back. The pelvis stays on the floor. Exhale, bring it back down. Now we're going to try a no-handed cobra. So you're in the same position. Be careful not to lift your chin. Shoulders are lifted. Legs are strong. Lift your hands off the floor. Pull your shoulders together. You should feel like there's something going on in your back now. Take your hands back down to the floor in line with the lower sternum. And then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale back down. Tuck your toes under. Stretch it back to child's pose or down dog. Inhale, lift your knees off the floor if you're in child's pose. Walk your feet forward to the front of the mat. Exhale into the forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now go ahead and step the right leg back again. Sorry, left leg. Turn your feet. So heel to arch alignment. Straighten the front leg. So both legs are straight. Get them nice and wide. Toe them through the belly. Side body long. We're going to move into triangle, Trikonasana. So the key is as long as you can, keep lengthening, lengthening. Hand can be on a block. Step stools work nice for home. You can stay here or reach the top arm up. Turn from your chest. Keep strong through the legs. So it's easy to kind of hyperextend or get lazy through the front leg. Engage your quadriceps. Lift your kneecaps up. All keys to keep your legs strong. Turn from your chest. Your neck bothers you, keep it straight ahead. Take your hand to your hip. Bend your front knee. Turn onto your toes of your left foot. You're gonna hop it forward a bit. And your right hand's gonna stay a little bit out. So we're moving in a half moon. Right hand goes about 45 degrees out. You can use a blanket, block. You have a bench or a chair. You can also use that. You can reach the floor. Go ahead and take your hand to the floor. Then lift the left leg up. Start to stack your hips. Stretch the top arm up if you can. Also totally fine to keep it on the hip. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. You're working on stacking the hips as best you can. The right hand's on the floor to help you balance. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Hand and foot back down. Step your right leg back. Stretch it out into down dog. Or child's pose. That feels better. Inhale. Lift the left leg up. Exhale. Bring it through to the hands. Pivot your back leg down. So you can straighten the front leg here. Turn around. Or you can come up, straighten the legs. Focus on the side body staying long. Double check your feet. Heel to arch. Reach forward without tipping too much from the pelvis. You're going to tilt your pelvis as you go down, but you're trying to keep working it towards neutral or level. Hand to the floor, side body long. Turn the chest. Again, this hand can be on a block, chair, step stool. Turn from your chest. Stack your shoulders if you can. Top arm up. Breathe. Take the hand back down to the hip. Bend your front knee. Look towards the front of your mat. Start to hop. Right leg forward. Bring your leg up. Straighten the front leg. Left hand's about 45 degrees out. Start to turn and stack your hips if you can. Arm goes up. Stay grounded through the front leg, especially the big toe. Spread your little toe. Keep the leg as close to parallel to the floor as you can. Take a deep breath in and then just exhale. Hand and foot down. Step it back. Knees to the floor. Feet flat. Knees just a little wider. Take a child's pose. Come up just a little bit to walk your hands over to the left. Then sit the right heel back, hip back towards the heel. Come up a little bit, walk your hands over to the right. And sit the left hip back towards the heel. Inhale, come up, walk the hands back to center. Walk the knees back on either puppy pose or down dog. I'm trying to get a little more stretch through the shoulders. Then walk the feet forward. Exhale into the fold. Inhale your arms up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Okay, next we're going to go on your belly. So let's start by coming to the top of the mat again. And first, inhaling. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale. Plank. A deep breath in. Lower down. Always okay to come through the knees. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back down. Stay on your stomach. You can stay propped on your elbows or lower all the way down, whatever feels better. Bend your left knee. Reach back for the foot. Add a thigh stretch to take stress out of the lower back. Lower back down onto your belly. You can use your forearm like a pillow for your forehead. Pull the heel towards the outer hip, knee towards the midline. Keep lifting the top of the left shoulder so it doesn't drop to the floor. Exhale, release. Switch sides. So you can kind of lift up the knee and line it up so it's right under the hip, right under the sit bone. Then reach for the foot. Lie back down. Pull the heel towards the outer hip. Take 3 deep breaths. Exhale, release. Stretch up to your hands and knees. Take a pad or a blanket again. Place that under the knees. Take your right foot forward, left knee on the floor. Keep lifting the top of your left thigh. Avoid over pushing it forward too much. So you keep that neutral spine, neutral hip, and then extend to the pelvis. Hands can be on the thigh, or arms can reach up. Your arms are up, you gotta work a little harder to pull the pelvis up and maintain that alignment in the hip and the lower back. Keep reaching. Be careful not to overarch. So focus on the rib cage staying down so you're isolating more the hip. Inhale, push with the front leg. Exhale, the arms down. Switch sides. Left leg forward, right knee on the ground. Again, think about lifting that top of the right thigh up and back. Scissor the legs a little by pulling them towards each other. Tone your belly and shift it forward. If you want to add the arms, you can reach them up. Exhale the arms down, knee down. Take the right foot forward again. So either repeat that or we're going to add a thigh stretch to it. So to get the foot, do a little rotation in your upper back. Reach your hand back. Lean forward a little bit so you're off the kneecap. Point your toe. Grab the foot. Square back around. You can bend the elbow a little bit. Go a little deeper. Once you get the foot, try to square everything towards the front. If you take the top of the thigh, move it back, you might be able to connect and even go deeper. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Switch sides. Left leg forward, right knee on the ground. To get this leg nice and stable, stomp it down into the ground. Turn your chest, rotate from the upper back. Bend your foot, grab, little toe side. Square back to the front. Again, see if you can lift the top of the thigh up and back to get the connection, and then shift your weight forward. Think about dropping the outer hip on the left down towards the floor to keep the pelvis level. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Switch sides once again. Right foot forward. Bring your hands to the inside of the front leg. Hinge from the hips if there's room to drop down lower to the floor. So you can extend the hip to get a little bit lower. This is going to target more the upper hamstring on your right. If that's too much, you can always stay up here, or of course you can use blocks. The key is to find a place that feels good, where you can breathe there, at least for 2 or 3 breaths. And switch sides. Left foot forward, right knee on the ground. Iguana or lizard. Hands go to the inside of the front leg. You can turn your foot out on the left just a little bit. Just make sure the knee follows. Start to lower the chest towards the floor, keeping the hips high, so don't collapse down. See if you can get a little more stretch through the hamstring this way. Wherever you're at, focus on your breath. What do your next inhale? Come all the way up. Yeah, let's have this. Actually, let's do one more. Inhaling, tall kneel. We got knees on the blanket, hands on the hips, toes tucked under. We're going to try camel pose. So we're going to do a back bend. If this doesn't feel good, options are for prep, drop. So you're going to turn to your left. And just do a little tiny back bend, dropping your left shoulder back, keeping your hands on your hips. Inhale, come back up. So the key is when you return, try not to push your head forward. Always lead from the chest. On the right side, drop your right shoulder back, so you're doing a little twist, moving in the direction of the heel. Inhale, come back up. So this can be a pretty good abdominal exercise in and of itself. Just turning, dropping back a little, inhaling up, twist and drop, inhale up. For full camel, you're going to go a little deeper and reach with that foot, hand to foot. Bring your hand all the way back. So instead of just bending at the knees, try to keep the hips right over the knees. So you could do half camel and stay here. Full camel, both hands back, chest lifts. And to return upright, keep pushing down through the legs, hand to the chest. Inhale, come back up. Take your hands to the floor. Stretch it back for child's pose. Lengthen and release. Inhale, bring it back up. All right, let's land back. Do a little bit of abdominal work. So with your knees bent, you want to have just a slight curve in the lower back. You can get your fingers under there, but not such a big curve that your whole arm fits. You can take your heel of your hand to the very front of your hip, the front of the ilium, fingertips to your pubic bone, and if you rock back and forth, you can kind of feel where those two bony landmarks are relatively level. If you push your back flat, the pubic bone's a little higher than the ilium. If you overarch, then the front of the hip's going to be higher. So find that place where it's relatively level. Then pull your rib cage down so you're not overarching through the thoracic spine or the upper back. Keep toning your belly. Start by just doing a simple march, lifting one leg up, lowering down, lift the other leg up, lower down. You're trying to keep stability in the lower back, the lumbar spine, rib cage down, focus on your belly. So you can continue to do the marching exercise, like so, lifting one leg, then the other, or lift one leg up, then the other, lower down. So lead with one leg, and then switch. Left, right, down with the left, down with the right, up with the right, up with the left, down right, down left. Option C, so we've got marches one leg at a time. Up, up, down, down, option B. Option C, both legs are up at about a 90-degree angle, tone belly. Straighten one leg out, lower, and lift it back up. Opposite leg down. Bring it back up. So about 3 or 4 on each side. Always do more later if you want. Nice and toned through the belly. It's okay if you're still doing marches, if that feels safer, better on your back. And then take a break, bring the knees down. Bring your feet and your knees together, arms out wide, and gently rock side to side. You should be keeping the chest on the ground, arms out like a T. As the knees drop over, the hip does come off the floor. Use your belly to pull back to center. Drop to the other side, pull your belly back to center. A couple more times. And then go ahead and straighten your right leg out. Hug your left knee to your chest. Keep your right leg active, even lifting the toes as though you're standing on that leg. Drop the knee just a little wider so it has room to go deeper beyond the rib cage. You can stay here, or hand can go inside of the knee to the big toe. Kick your foot up, and then you can slip your elbow out and bend just like iguana, going deeper into the upper hamstrings and the adductors. Or you're still hugging your knee to your chest. All are options. Exhale, release. Straighten your left leg. Hug your right knee into your chest. Keep the left leg active. Keep stretching and reaching through the heel. Then you're going to take the knee just a little wider so there's more room to drop it towards the floor. Just a little outside of the rib cage. You can stay here or bring your arm to the inside of the knee. Grab the big toe, or if you want to grab the little toe side, that's fine too. Grab something on your foot. Kick your foot up towards the ceiling. Either stay here or you can then widen to take the knee towards the floor. Again, getting into this upper hamstring area. Maybe your adductors. Exhale, release. Keep the knee bent. Bend your other knee. I'm going to take both knees out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana, down angle pose. Hands just wherever's comfortable. So feet together. Actively try to push your knees down towards the floor. Try not to overarch your back. Keep the tone in the belly. Take your feet just a little wider. Then squeeze the knees together to bring them back to center. Now you're going to take your right leg and cross it over the left, like a figure 4. So the right ankle's above the knee. If this is a big stretch for you, then just stay here and breathe into it. If you want a little deeper stretch, lift the left foot off the floor. The trick here is if you're tight, you might roll your pelvis and really round your back, which isn't a horrible thing, but if you want to isolate the hip more, you get a deeper stretch if you keep your back a little more neutral. So slight arch there. And then bring the leg up, hands interlaced. Then if you try to find neutral again and keep a little bit of curve in your lower back, likely you'll get a better stretch. If it's too much stretch, you can always bring the foot back down to the floor. Think about turning the knee wide away from your chest to make space in the hip joint. So you can use that leg as leverage. Pushing your right foot into the left knee and widening the right knee. Take a deep breath in and then exhale, release. Both feet on the floor, cross the left leg over the right. Find that neutral position or somewhere close to it. Widen the knee, push it out to the side. Tone your belly. You can stay here. If you'd like to go a little deeper, lift your right foot off the floor. Interlace the hands behind the knee. This right foot active, so the lower leg is parallel to the floor. Very slight arch in the lower back to intensify the stretch in the hip. Turn the left knee out, away from your belly. Push ever so softly the left foot into the right thigh to open up the hip more. Exhale, release. Now take your feet just a little wider so they're about the same width as your yoga mat. Drop your knees side to side. Like windshield wipers, your knees are going left and right. Try to keep your back. It's going to rotate a little bit. Just try not to get a ton of rotation in your back. That'll, again, just help isolate a little bit more stretch to the hips. Then go ahead and take both knees to the right. Let the knees drop. So this is to intensify the stretch to the left hip. You can take your left foot, lift it up, and drop it on top of the left knee. Get a little more pressure towards the floor. So dropping both knees to the right, you can hook the right foot over the left, just above the knee. You should feel that stretching kind of the outer hip on the left side. So you're using that as a lever, the right leg as a lever to help push the left knee towards the floor. Inhale, come back up. Switch legs. Drop your knees to the left. We've got space behind the knees. You're dropping to the left. And again, to intensify, you just take the left foot over the right and use that as a lever to help push. A couple more breaths. Inhale the knees back up. Hug both knees to your chest. Gently rock side to side. Take a deep breath in and exhale the legs down. If your back is bothering you at all from camel or anything else we did today, or just if your back bothers you in general, you can use that same blanket To put underneath the knees. If you want a little more thickness to it, you can always double it up a little bit. Put it right under the knees. Like that, let the feet totally relax and fall apart. Take your hands palm side up, shimmy the shoulders together, lengthen through your neck. If you have an eye pillow or a towel you want to put over your eyes, go ahead. You're going to be in Shavasana for just a few minutes. If you'd like to stay longer, you can always mute your computer and stay as long as you like. Try and close your eyes and just release everything. Let the weight of your body fall into the floor. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale all the air. Put your fingers and toes just a bit. Feels good. Go ahead and stretch your arms over your head one more time. Go ahead and bend your knees. Gently roll to your right side. Take a breath there before sitting up. Finding that comfortable position again. Go ahead and bring your hands in front of your heart. And close with one Om. Feel free to join me at home. Get your spine nice and long first. And then take a deep breath in. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thanks for joining me today. Have a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions, concerns, anything I can do for you at all, feel free to email me at amyb@ and johnpt.com. Thank you. Have a great one.